All right, good afternoon, everybody. It is Jay again, and today we are going to be answering the age-old question of to fence or not to fence, and how close can we plant to fences and walls and structures, and is that a good idea for our fruit trees? Is it helping them out, or is it the devil burning them up in the middle of the summertime? Right, guys? So today we're going to be answering this question. We're going to be talking about walls and fences and perimeters and how I was able to turn this place into a tropical paradise basically by adding just a few things. And one of those being the walls for protection and to keep in the humidity. Those are the two main purposes of having a wall or a fence. Well, there's a common misconception here in Arizona that planting near a fence or a wall is not a good idea for a couple reasons. One being it's very close to the plant, and the plant is going to burn up from being that close to the fence, right? Either being metal or block, the tree is actually going to cook, or is there going to be foundational problems later on down the road with these trees, or is there a way to plant them correctly to where they will not disturb your walls and you guys can have a microclimate of your own by shielding in your entire property? Okay, so as we kind of take a look around, you can see that a lot of the properties on this street in particular are very open. Okay, they're very open to the elements, the wind and the heat and the drying from the humidity, right? So what you have to do is you have to enclose and kind of shell yourself in here so that you can have all that protection and the type of trees that you guys want to grow. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of walk this fence line here all the way around the property, and we're going to talk about those trees, and then I'm going to show you a tree that I planted and dug up for you guys just so that you can kind of see what the root system looks like when planting in this style, because a lot of you guys want to do espalier trees, and espalier trees are where you take and you flatten the tree up against a fence and you grow it this direction, right? So it's going to be sort of flat on one side, right? As we look down, we're pretty much flat on this side. We've got all of our growth over here on this side, which is obviously my yard, and that's where I want most of the growth. So let's kind of walk around a little bit, and I'll show you what I have for protection around the entire yard, and you'll see, hopefully this will make a little bit more sense for you guys. So out here I've got this hog paneling, and I made a trellis fence out here so that I could secure a bunch of fruit trees to that fence, so that it'll grow in on this side, and it'll actually give me some green protection on this side. So on this side, I'm not going to have a block wall or a metal wall. This side is going to actually be greenery, or the plants doing the job, right? So first we've got an olive here. Kind of go over these briefly. We've got an olive. We've got a red Suriname cherry. Just put him in. Curry tree. Barbados cherry. Pomegranate. Jamun. Next one's guava. I just pruned him down to the ground so he can start over and fill in this section here with new leaves and new fruit. This is a che, or a mandarin melonberry. Apple. Galaxy white donut peach. Peruvian apple cactus. And we've got a nice large fig here that kind of starts the tunnel to the backyard. Here you can see how a lot of these trees are kind of bending over and creating an archway so that I can walk under these, and it also keeps it nice and shady, and your fruit's right above you too. And you can see that you can even get full-size trees in here right next to each other. Nice big plum, star fruit next to it, big fig next to it, lemon guava, blackjack fig. This is another one I pruned down. Flavor Delight Apium. He goes way up, forms an archway with this star fruit. You can see that the starfruit is also planted very, very close to the house, as well as some other trees along this side. Then we've got red Malaysian guava, apricot, which I just pruned him down, sweet lime. Then it kind of transitions here. So we go from the hog paneling, right, and we go into some solid paneling here as we get to the backyard. So we've got, this is actually steel fencing, and it's painted, and you would think that everything would burn up, but this is actually a very, very, very productive little area here. We've got a peach that goes way up, pear, gold nugget mandarin. This thing's gotten huge, just full of fruit, because it is shading the wall behind it, right? So now you get all this fruit. Oh my gosh, just amazing clusters of fruit on these trees. Peach. Next, this is a white peach. He's also full of fruit. Plum. Miwa kumquat. Southern king pear. Blood orange. Man, look how good these things look, guys. Look, right next to the wall. Here's the wall. Steel, right? Because the shade is cooling the wall. The wall is not cooking the plant, right? Another nice fig here. Nice big tiger panache. Beautiful trees. Then it changes into block wall back here. So this little area back here is enclosed with block wall. So back here, a lot of these are specimen pomegranates. And these are big guys. These are, the wall's right about 8 foot. So these guys are, you know, quite a bit taller than that. Kind of wraps around to the back here. Nice big carob in a pot. We've got some cypress here. They haven't quite woken up yet, but that'll fill in this section here. Nice big Suriname cherry in a pot. So you guys can have these nice big planters around, see? And they just look beautiful. Okay, then it kind of wraps along the guest house here. We're gonna go this way. Goes by the guest house here, so we're gonna have to go around. Man, everything's just so healthy here. So happy. You see I've got trees right here up against the house. So I've got some big planters here. And then I've got a nice big Barbados cherry, Suriname cherry, gummy berry or autumn olive. Plants up against the house. Gonna go back this way. This will continue along the back side of the guest house here. Okay, so this is now starting at that corner. Turn the water off real quick. Okay, so now this wraps around the side. Got a nice big mango here. Just full of blooms. Pink powder puff bush. Big mangoes. Huge pineapple guava or Fayoa. It's one of the bigger ones I've seen here. Okay, and then it wraps along this back fence. You can see that this is filtered light here. Nice big tango mandarin. Some nice big mangoes through here. Let's go around the side. Okay, we get around here. We've got a huge finger lime and a giant persimmon tree just waking up. Then I just put in a Suriname, another Suriname cherry here. Man, these are good. And this is going to fill in this whole section back here by the fence. Then it switches to the wall here. Now we're going along the south side. And another huge mango here in the corner. Okay, then it goes block wall. I've got this barn here, which is soon to go, so that I can add some more trees in here. Then we're going to wrap around the back, and here's where we're going to get some of the really big trees, because this is the south side, so you've got the block wall here, and you've got it shadowing this whole area. So this is just going to be jungle, really. So nice big mango above us. We've got mandarins just crammed in between the space of this block wall and this barn here. And there's so many fruit on this tree. It's literally just pulling the branches down into this area with the fruit on them, right? So see, there they are. Then we've got another gold nugget mandarin. Absolutely full of fruit. Pulling every branch down to the ground, basically. An Alfonso mango, huge one, right? Because you've got that shade from that wall on this side. Okay, it goes into mango, it goes into a red pomelo, then it goes into a giant pear. Then back here, I've been doing some pruning, and we're going to stop right here because we're going to talk about this little section right here. So you can see that the wall provides shade out to about here, right? So anything you plant in there is safe, and it's going to grow out into the sun, and it's actually going to get huge because it's got this 6 foot of shade area basically to grow out into the sun. So this is what we mean by plant it in the shade and let it grow out into the sun, right? Now I did do some pruning here because I wanted to let a little bit more light back into this side here for the nursery and for a fig that I've got right here. So I completely cut down, this is a pink lemon. It was huge, filled this whole area of sky, right? And I cut down this pink guava too, and let these two restart. So these will start at a shorter stature. Never feel like you can't prune a tree down to pretty much its stumps, because they grow back again, and they're gonna grow back again in a year, like way faster than you even think that they're gonna grow, okay? So don't feel bad about pruning trees. This pink lemon will be back in no time, and also will this pink guava, okay? Now we're gonna stop right here because this is the sort of little experiment that I did for you guys. I'm not gonna do it with a big tree, but I'll certainly do it with a little one. Okay, so I planted a fig right here up against the wall in an espalier style. So it was very close to the wall. Like, let's say I'm about a foot away from the wall at the most of where I had the center of this tree planted, okay? Had it planted here, and I watered good on my side. You can see that there's emitters that are spraying and keeping things wet, especially on the sides here, right? Now, the neighbor on the other side doesn't water at all, okay? So there's no water happening over there, so the plant has no reason to go that way at all whatsoever, okay? But you want to kind of keep it this way, or kind of keep it along the wall. So what I did was I cut this fig tree down so that I could show you what its root system looks like. And maybe this will make a little bit more sense for you guys. Move this out of the way. Okay, so here is the root system of that fig tree. Now, if I set it straight up like this and we look down on it, you'll see that the roots are going sideways. They're going this direction and they're going to the right, right? There's no roots going to the back, and there's really none coming to the front because I haven't led it that way with an emitter. There's another plant I have in the front, so I wanted the roots to go sideways. So you guys can see that this tree literally did exactly what it was supposed to do. And it grew along the side of the fence with the roots stretching out to the sides, right? They literally follow the the block wall, right? So if you're watering correctly, that's where they're going to stay. And if they get bigger, that's where they're going to be. Now, if you don't water, or if your neighbor waters more than you, guess what's going to happen? All these roots are going to go underneath this wall to search for that more water. And then you're going to have lifting block walls. You're going to have cracks in block walls. And if you'll notice, I don't have any of that damage at all whatsoever. Like, try to find an imperfect block in this system, and you would think that this would wreck everything that I have, basically, right? So everything's planted very, very, very close to the wall as we go all the way down. And block walls are my favorite. These are actually my favorite. Another big mango right here. It's maybe 18 inches away from the wall. And you can see that it goes way up like that. And actually the neighbor is going to get a lot of mangoes on that side. So see, the walls are the most productive side, and they're also the most demonized, which is so funny because it's literally my best side. So another huge finger lime right there, loquat, and then all these are different specialty citruses. So we've got Sanguinelli blood oranges, Tarraco blood oranges, all the little bit harder ones to grow, along with a bunch of mangoes. And you can see how dense and green this is back here. Like, these citrus are incredible. And the mangoes too. I mean, it just got it stuffed. So then it comes, the wall comes along here to the side. And you can see that the whole wall is shadowed. And you can also see how happy these plants are. I mean, look at the vitality of these plants. Okay, so then it goes this direction, and then there's a little pony wall that connects over to the greenhouse. Then along the greenhouse wall, of course, there's a lot of really nice plants in production. So these are all mangoes here. So now we're gonna walk around, and I'm gonna start at the back of this pony wall. So I'm gonna come around here. This is the greenhouse, right? So now look at that tunnel of green and microclimate that we've got, right? This is what you're trying to achieve, microclimate. So you're gonna need some shade, and you are gonna need some humidity, which is the main thing people forget. So we are going to come around here to the front, and I'm gonna start at that pony wall, and you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about on that side. Okay, so now we're gonna come in from the front here. So I'm gonna come in the front, and this is the new fence that I got put up here, and this is all steel. And I know you're thinking that's gonna roast everything, but this is actually going to change my entire microclimate in my front yard now. Now I'm going to be able to make this a tropical jungle because I've got the one key thing that I needed on this side. This is the afternoon side. So this only gets sun, like, let's say from 5 to 8 o'clock, right? During the summer, this is sort of gets the worst of it. And I was really struggling out here for a long time because I had this chain link fence, and this chain link fence allows everything to dry out. There's no way to keep enough water in the yard and enough humidity in the yard, right? So this was a game changer, adding this now, because now look at all the shade and coolness that this provides, whereas this would normally be getting completely cooked right now. And man, this grapefruit's never looked better. This tree just looks amazing and is already taking advantage of holding humidity, wind block, not drying out. Okay, guys, capture the water, hold the water in the yard. You're wanting tropical trees, you're wanting your other trees to look great. Well, this is sort of what you might have to do, okay? And it looks good too, and it'll be even better when it rusts. So it's starting to rust now. This was bare steel, and once it rusts, it's not only going to look good and match the environment around it, but also that rusty steel is not as hot. You can put your hand on that versus putting it on bare steel, which, you know, is very, very, very hot. So now all my mangoes and tropical trees out here in the front yard are going to thrive, because I was having a problem with them drying out, like I said, and trying to hold humidity in this yard. Okay, wow. Wow, things look good. Yeah, this is gonna be a game changer. I mean, look at this mulberry Oh my gosh. Just a beautiful, beautiful tree out here. Blood orange right next to it. Look at the difference. Ice cream bean. Absolutely beautiful, lush, tropical, and to be able to keep stuff like this alive in Arizona is hard enough. But like I said, this is now a game changer because I've enclosed the front yard now, okay? Put in a new fig, took out the huge mesquite that I had here. So now this fig will get probably just as big as the mesquite was. Got a nice Barbados cherry over here. And then I took out a lemon this year because I just have too many lemon trees as it is, and I just didn't need any more lemons. So I took out this lemon tree, which is now giving me probably the most prime spot in the entire yard to put a nice tree here. Then we start to wrap around here. We've got this pine that goes way up. And then directly underneath it, I've got this Shangri-La mulberry, another one. You can tell I really like these. These are my microclimate builders. These are the reason I have all my tropical trees. People always ask, and this is why, or this is how. It's because I've got all these mulberries. Okay, now we've got this fence, goes back this direction, and we're going to end up over here at this pony wall here in just a minute. Big sapote, Chiku sapote, huge one. Dragon fruit will be no problem now. Star fruit, dragon fruit. Tango mandarin over here against the wall. Another fig, huge pink guava. Put in another Suriname. Got a Kinao mandarin right here. He's just now starting to poke over the fence. Wampy Wampy tree. Looking really good after the winter here. And then another big Barbados. So you can see that the wall continues to shade out, which is its bigger advantage. Not that it's getting hot. I mean, they'll literally grow touching this metal, and it's not going to burn them because I keep the plants watered. Okay. Now we're going to end up over here. This is the back of that pony wall. And let me kind of end you here with this star fruit and showing you the ridiculous production that these things do. And man, guys, if I could get this amount of fruit out of every fruit tree that I grow, it would be incredible. This is the most incredibly loaded tree that you've ever seen in your entire life. And there are hundreds of fruits on this tree. And this is probably way more fruit than leaves. I mean, this tree is incredible with its production. Why more people don't put star fruits in? Oh my gosh, guys. Thousands of fruits. Look at these, just gigantic. Big clusters everywhere you look. Everywhere you look. Big old chains of fruit. Look at these, just pulling down to the ground. You've never seen anything like this in your life, I'm telling you. I don't even think these do this where they grow naturally. Never seen the amount of production that a star fruit tree will put on. Incredible. Just incredible. So then this ends that wall. So you can see that planting near the walls not only are the way that I keep a lot of these plants alive, but if watered correctly, especially from the very beginning of their lives, they will do very, very, very good for you. Planted in that configuration. And like I said, this now is a game changer for me. That temperature just dropped 20 degrees as I just went from right over there to right over here. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. It is planting near walls, block walls, metal walls, houses, buildings, structures. Do you want to plant next to them? Well, it's up to you, I guess, but I absolutely use them as my guardians to keep the rest of my trees alive and to establish my microclimate. All right, guys, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe if you would like more information on growing these type of trees, especially if you're wanting to get to avocados someday or those type of plants. They're very, very easy once you get the formula down. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching.